Okay, welcome to Sitemaps and Robots.txt by Acadia Einstein. Just for the blog and social media boosters group, thank you for letting me in. Um, Let me see what I can do for you regarding these two specific items, and we can always do more of these later. Alright, so as you can see, here's my site, and normally what's going to happen is Google, Bing, Yahoo, all of the search engines are going to get to the site and they're going to start literally crawling. They call them spiders because they crawl all over. They follow the links and they read the content. Now, in order to make this easier for them, the first thing you want to do is have a robots.txt. Robots and spiders are the same in this scenario. They're called user agents. You can look in your Google Analytics for user agents, but it's generally things that get recorded in your log files. But user agents are the bots that come and want to find out what your site's about. The asterisk is always universal, so what we're saying is on my site I let every agent in. There are some places that won't let Yahoo crawl them for one reason or another, or different kinds of bots, because the more bots are on your site, the more requests are being made to your database, which means overall the slower it could get. So some people say, well, forget it, I'm only going to let the big ones in. I don't care. Sitemap index, you can see right here, this is me telling the robots, if you go to sitemapindex.xml, you're going to find out where all my sitemaps are. And then you see underneath this the sitemap.xml, which is my first one, and sitemap2.txt, which is my second one. These are just fast ways to get the spiders to your content. Disallow down here. CGI bin is an old scripting language, CGI, that you could use to do contact forms and stuff like that. There's no reason to have that content associated to my site, so I have it disallowed. So, the sitemap portion of it. First, I'm going to do sitemap.xml. This is sitemap 2. It's for my celebrity picture element, and you can see rather than make the spiders run all over the place looking for it, I'm specifically saying these are the particular pages I want you to look at, because each album is a celebrity, and each album is important for me anyway to be indexed to the search engines. Why do I have two? Because generally you do not want to have more than, I believe it's 50,000 URLs in a given sitemap. It just makes the spiders tired. So let me go to my original one, which is sitemap.xml, and you're going to see that there's some hoo-ha on the top about it. This is an XML sitemap, which is supposed to be processed by search engines, Google, MSN, and Yahoo. I use the Google Sitemap Generator plugin. There's no issue with you using that. If you're on Blogger, if you search for Google Sitemap Generator, there are plenty of free ones that you can have, but it is a file that you need to actually have on your site. And what it does is that it tells the search engines what's important and what isn't. So this is pretty much the gist of it. It's a very long list of links. The priority, you don't really have to fine-tune it that much, and then the change frequency, usually what you're going to say is that your home page is going to be daily, and then just because there's other stuff in the sidebars and stuff that pops up, you're going to say individual posts are monthly, and those are settings that you can do in the plugin. This is an important thing. It does not prevent you from being indexed if you don't have one. It's just making it easier for you to be indexed if you do. So there is no penalty for not having one. It's just you're kind of greasing the wheels a little bit. Google Webmaster Tools, and this is google.com/webmasters, is something that Google does to help you make your site work better so that it's easier for Google to index it. Now, at the end of the day, Google's doing this so that it can sell AdWords, but whatever, it's a handy thing. Without Google, you're kind of screwed from an organic standpoint. So what you need to do, and I'm going to go back to the beginning, you need to verify your site with Google, and it's going to be you essentially verifying your site with Google Webmaster Tools, and there's a couple different ways to do it. Any of you who want to add me, superficialgallery@gmail.com, to your Webmaster Tools so I can look at what's happening with your site and maybe help you, feel free. Just let me know if you end up doing that. But let's go into mine. And When we get there, you're going to see search queries, where you're showing up. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what people are clicking on, but it kind of tells you. You get an overview of the crawl errors, and the one that everybody was talking about because it was related to AdSense is the not found. So let's click into the not found, and you're going to see that there are a bunch of things on my site, a bunch of things that Google just says we think is supposed to be there, but it isn't. And you're going to notice that there are about 50 million of them that are all in the subdirectory about. Now, this is something that I'm leaving here for right now and I'm not dealing with because I wanted you to see what the most likely culprit is when this happens. What it is you can maybe you get rid of a tag. Well, as far as Google was concerned, since we didn't tell them that you got rid of that tag, it thinks it's supposed to be there, and then it's going to tell you that, hey, something's wrong. So because WordPress tends to group things by tags, that's a way that can happen. If you take a post down, that's a way that it can happen. Most of the time what you want to do is if there's something really wrong, then you need to either fix the page or you're going to want to remove it from the site. And removing it in Google's eyes really means, and I'm just going to click through so that while I'm talking you can see some of the other things that you can do with Webmaster Tools, and I'll help you with any of these that you want as well, is essentially you're telling them, all right, forget it, stop talking about, stop looking for this page because it's never going to exist. And that's really your main recourse as far as what you can do to help yourself in those situations. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure that I have. Let's see. As far as links to your site are concerned, as you well know, the more links you have, the more Google likes you. So it's always handy to have as many as possible. It's also kind of interesting to see. These are links whether or not you get traffic from them, so it's kind of interesting to see. You can see your subscribers if people subscribe through Google. And I'm trying to think of anything else that would be interesting from the beginning. I guess this is in site configuration crawler access. If you want to remove a URL from their index, you can do that. There's also a way to generate the robots.txt by itself right in here. There's also a way to test your robots.txt. So this really is, an extremely beneficial. You see the last time Google came was half an hour ago. It's an extremely beneficial set of tools. It's free. Bing has one, I believe, as well. It's Bing/Yahoo. It's kind of the 80-20 rule. If you have enough time to worry about what Bing and Yahoo think about your site, you're probably doing fairly well. But overall, there is no reason why you shouldn't have Webmaster Tools activated for your site so that you can find out what's going on. There's no reason why you can't have an easy robots.txt. It literally is a text file that goes in the root directory of your site. And these are things that, like I said before, it's not going to kill you because any of you that don't have them, it's not like you don't get any traffic from the search engines. It's just a way to make it easier. So this has been the very quick, I guess, overview of robots.txt and sitemaps to hopefully help you get your sites indexed better. Another time we'll talk about some of the other things on the left, but I think this is enough for one day. Thanks.